Hi guys. So welcome to another edition of Share a Scripture with me. This is where I usually share one of my absolutely favorite scriptures, one that inspires me, one that's blessed me. But today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite Bible story characters and the scriptures. So one of my absolutely Bible characters or Bible story in the Bible is Joseph. The thing is that Joseph had the gift of dreams, and he saw ahead that he was going to rule, and his brothers, got jealous when he would tell them his dreams, and then they plotted to kill him, but they decided to throw him into a pit, and then they sold him. But here, when the blessing of God is on your life, it doesn't matter what pit you go into, God could pull you out of that pit. And that is exactly what God did for Joseph. Joseph was sold into slavery. Can you imagine going through something like that, where you were kidnapped and then sold? But here, Joseph came out on top. His slave master put him at the head of his household and entrusted him. Joseph didn't try to run away. Joseph ruled that house. He trusted him so much that he would leave him there to run the house, and then he would travel and go about his business without any fear that Joseph would run away or Joseph would steal from him or anything. But Joseph shined, and he knew that the blessing of God was on Joseph's life. That's the amazing thing with God. It doesn't matter what situation that we're in, God will bring me up on top, because we are to be the head and not the tail. So even if you're in slavery, you'll be the head slave. It's true. And that wasn't where Joseph's troubles ended. Joseph then went to prison, where Potiphar's wife accused him of rape. Can you imagine being accused of something so horrible that you have not done? Your reputation, everything is soiled, and you could become bitter. But Joseph, again, in the prison, now became head prisoner. He now was in charge of the prison, because the officers put him in charge there and trusted him. And again, he stood out. That is the amazing thing. Once we are working with God and walking in God and aligned with God's plan and purpose, even if terrible things happen, we're going to still shine through. And then it came to a point where, Joseph was the dreamer. Joseph could interpret the dreams, and his fellow prison mates told Pharaoh of that, that Joseph could interpret the dreams. And so when the Pharaoh had these dreams, that that there's something powerful about these dreams, and he needed someone to interpret it. And he was told about Joseph gifts. He called Joseph up, and God blessed Joseph with the interpretation of those dreams. And Joseph shined through. And it took 13 years. Joseph would have been about 17 when he was thrown into the pit. And then he went through slavery. Then he was in jail for so many years. He was there, but when God bring you out of your pit, he's going to put you in a palace. And this is what, with influence, and this is what Pharaoh told Joseph when, when he needed someone now to rule the kingdom, to manage the stocks. And he said, you shall be over my house, and all my people shall be ruled according to your word. Only in regard to the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. Egypt means house of bondage. And here this is a child of God ruling over the house of bondage. Yes, here. When we align with God's will and those humble beginnings and those things that we've gone through, it's God setting us up and preparing us for what is to come. Because now Joseph, if Joseph had stayed with his family where he was favored and he was the favorite, he would not have learned skills that he learned when he was enslaving, that he learned while in prison. He learned skills that he needed to learn so that when God put him in charge of Egypt, the house of bondage, he knew how to manage because he was in bondage. He experienced bondage, but being in bondage. So here, God is a good God because now being the head of Egypt now, he was able to save his family when the famine came and they were looking for food. He was able to save them and protect them, and Israel's legacy came through Joseph because he was able to save them from famine, and his family came over there and they grew so large that even the Egyptians got jealous and then placed them in slavery. Well, that's a story for another time. But I want to encourage you, don't despise those humble beginnings. Those things are God setting us up for a greater things to come. And I can testify of that in my own life. Yes. Where those difficult times and those things that you've gone through in your past and things that upset you, you see that God turn around and use it to bless you. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Share a scripture with me.